How to use java.net.URLConnection to fire and handle HTTP requests. Introduction. Java applications frequently communicate with external systems using HTTP requests. Examples include calling REST APIs, downloading files, sending form data, accessing web services, integrating third-party systems. One of the oldest built-in Java approaches for HTTP communication is Java.net URL connection. A common Java question is, how do you use URL connection to send and handle HTTP requests? This topic helps learners understand what URL connection is, how HTTP requests work, GET requests, POST requests, reading responses, handling headers, error handling, limitations, modern alternatives. This is an important Java networking topic. What is URL connection? URL connection is a Java class used to connect to URLs, send requests, receive responses. It belongs to Java Net package. Example concept. Java app, URL connection, HTTP server, basic HTTP request flow. Typical flow. Create URL. Step. Open connection. Step. Configure request. Send request. Read response. Important classes. Class purpose. URL. Represents URL. URL connection. Base connection class. HTTP URL connection. HTTP specific connection. Input stream reads response. Buffered reader reads text response. Creating a simple GET request. Step 1. Create URL. URL equals new URL. HTTPS api.example.com/users. Step 2. Open connection. URL connection equals URL.openConnection. Step 3. Read response. Buffered reader equals new buffered reader, new input stream reader, connection.getInputStream. String line. While is line equals reader.readLine. System out.println line. Reader.close. Full GET request example. Import java.io.star. Import java.net.star. Public class main. Public static void main. String args. Throws exception. URL equals new URL. HTTPS JSON placeholder.typecode.com. Posts 1. URL connection equals URL.openConnection. Buffered reader equals new buffered reader, new input stream reader, connection.getInputStream. String line. While line is equal to reader, red line is null. System out println line. Reader.close. Example response. User ID 1. ID 1. Title unclose. Body. What happens internally? Example concept. URL connection. Opens TCP connection. Sends HTTP request. Receives HTTP response. Using HTTP URL connection. Although URL connection works, HTTP requests usually use HTTP URLConnection because it provides check HTTP methods, response codes, headers, better control. Creating HTTP URL connection. Example. URL equals new URL. HTTPS api.example.com. HTTP URL connection equals HTTP URL connection URL.openConnection. Setting HTTP method. Example. Connection.setRequest method. Get. Other methods. Check post, check put, check delete. Reading HTTP response code. Example. Int response code equals connection.getResponseCode. System.out.println response code. Output. 200. Common HTTP status codes code meaning. 200 success. 201 created. 400 bad request. 401 unauthorized. 404 not found. 500 server error. Sending request headers. Example. Connection.setRequestProperty. Accept application JSON. Useful for SAC authentication, SAC content types, SAC API tokens. Post request example. Enable output connection.setDoOutput true. Set method connection.setRequest method post. Set content type connection.setRequest property content type. Application JSON. Write request body string JSON. John. Output stream OS equals connection.getOutputStream. Byte A input equals JSON.getBytes UTF-8. OS.write input 0 input.length. OS.close. Full post example, import java.io, import java.net. Public class main. Public static void main, string args, throws exception. URL equals new URL, https api.example.com/users. HttpURLConnection equals HttpURLConnection URL.openConnection. Connection.setRequest method. Post. Connection.setRequest property. Content type. Application JSON. Connection.setDoOutput true. String JSON equals name John. Try. Output stream OS equals connection.getOutputStream. Byte $input equals JSON.getBytes UTF-8. OS.write input 0 input.length. Int response code equals connection.getResponseCode. System.out.println response code plus response code. Problem. Get input stream. Fails for error responses. Use. Get error stream. Example. Input stream error stream equals connection.getErrorStream. Useful for debugging API failures. Setting timeouts. Important in production systems. Example. Connection.setConnect timeout 5000. Connection.setRead timeout 5000. Units. Milliseconds. Prevents hanging requests. Closing resources. Always close. Streams, readers, output streams. Best practice. Try with resources. Example. Try buffered reader equals new buffered reader. Common errors 1. Malformed URLX section. Example. New URL, invalid URL. Problem. Invalid URL format. 2. IO exception. Occurs 4. SN network failures, S unreachable servers, S timeout errors. 3. Forgetting set do output true. Post body writing fails. 4. Not closing streams. Can cause. Check memory leaks. Check resource exhaustion. URL connection limitations. Although useful, URL connection is older technology. Limitations include X. Verbose code. X. Manual stream handling. X. Difficult JSON handling. X. Limited modern features. Modern alternatives. Modern Java applications often use CUP, Java 11 HTTP client, Spring REST template, Spring Web Client, Apache HTTP client, OK HTTP. Example concept. URL connection means older approach. HTTP client, web client means modern approach. Java 11 HTTP client example. Modern replacement. HTTP client equals HTTP client dot new HTTP client. Much cleaner API. Real-world uses. URL connection is still useful for check. Legacy systems, simple utilities, interviews, understanding HTTP basics, lightweight applications. Best practices. Best practices include use HTTP URL location for HTTP requests, set timeouts, close resources properly, validate response codes, use modern clients for enterprise apps. Example concept. Reliable networking means reliable applications. Advantages of URL connection. Built into Java. No external libraries. Lightweight. Simple for basic requests. Limitations. Verbose. Older API design. Manual parsing. Weak JSON support. less modern than HTTP client. Concepts learned in this topic. URL connection basics. Check. GET requests, POST requests, request headers, response handling, error handling, timeouts, modern HTTP alternatives. Simple definition. URL connection. A Java API used to connect to URLs and exchange data using protocols such as HTTP. Final summary. To use URL connection in Java, create URL equals to new URL, HTTPS, example.com, open connection, URL connection equals URL.openConnection, read response connection.get input stream. For HTTP specific functionality, use HTTP URL connection, which supports GET, POST, headers, response codes. Key idea. URL connection provides Java's built-in mechanism for sending and handling HTTP requests. Once you understand it, learning modern HTTP clients becomes much easier.